Yep.
Yeah.
What's going on, boys and girls and moms and dads and brothers and sisters?
And whoever the motherfuck you are.
This is the Dead End Boys. I'm Reddy Wop.
I'm Ando Fried.
And we're here bringing you episode number 3. Can't believe I'm saying episode number 3.
I never thought we'd get this far.
I didn't think either. No one else. We always give up after one.
Clearly, we getting a little bit of love, so we're going to keep bringing this to you guys.
Shout out Miller Lite and Bud Light tonight. We got some Bud Light limes in the house. And
yes, sir.
honestly, I hope to God, if I can achieve one thing, is Miller Lite or Bud Light sending me some stuff or just doing anything. That would be my dream.
Any beer brand, you want to send us some free shit?
Shit, Natty Light, send me some shit.
Yeah, no. Whoever wants to send it, we're going to be drinking. Thank you for letting my pockets breathe a little bit.
Yeah, I do take on that expense, don't I?
Yeah.
But we have a long list of things to talk about this week. There's a lot of stuff that happened, especially recently, coming up. I do want to throw a couple plugs out there, though. So we have a YouTube channel that corresponds where I pretty much upload the podcast to as well. I think one day, I don't think we're big enough to do this, nor do I have the space because we're doing this in a very tiny room. That's not that aesthetically pleasing, but I mean, one day we're gonna have to be on, show our face. That's 100%. What everyone does, and that's totally fine with me. That's the ideal goal with what the YouTube channel will be, and that'll have, cut down portions like little shorts and all that 100%. Stuff. But we do have a YouTube channel. It's called the Dead End Boys. Right now we're at 52 subscribers, so that's kind of lit.
Yeah.
Granted, 20 of them are from my failed attempt at a gaming channel.
Yeah, nah, fuck it.
But it's the Dead End Boys with just an S, not a Z at the end. If you search that, it's just the Dead End Boys with an S. But we're also thinking about, because we're young, we still do some gaming in our days, maybe doing some Madden on there, some FIFA.
Some Madden franchise, maybe some FIFA Pro Clubs, maybe just some PGA Tour if you guys are interested in just seeing us have fun and enjoy ourselves and be bouncing back and forth like we normally do. Yeah,
like pretty much any of the sports games. I can't think we're going to do Call of Duty, but maybe we'll throw some Call of Duty up there.
Maybe we'll throw some Warzone up there if people really want to see it.
Yeah.
If the people ask for it, we'll give it to you guys.
For sure.
You asked me to play Plants vs. Zombies. Me and Red will play Plants vs. Zombies at the end of the day.
That game is lit.
I've never played it, to be honest with you, bro.
Very fun game.
That's the first thing that came to my head. I just had to throw it out there.
So, yeah, we do have the YouTube channel up there again at the Dead End Boys. We also have a Twitter account. Just started this. I don't even think it's updated with episode 2. But that's also at the Dead End Boys with a Z at the end. It's again brand new, so we're starting at the bottom with zero followers. But we do have that, and then also we have the Twitch channel up. That's at the Dead End Boys with a Z. And
we coming from the mud.
We're
coming from zero, nothing. We're just trying to build this up. If you guys enjoy hearing what we got to say, subscribe on the YouTube, follow the Twitter, follow the Twitch channel. We're going to give you guys content. You guys will not be disappointed with the content that we can provide.
Also, I don't know if this is a future state, but I gotta figure out how Spotify. Like, this is only on Apple Podcasts, but I know there's people that live and die by Spotify and won't branch out.
Personally, I'm an Apple guy.
Me too.
So,
but Maddie, she's a Spotify person.
Oh, okay. So
I know John. He's a Spotify person. So that is a valid thought. Like, maybe we'll have to dabble into the Spotify realm.
100%.
Soon enough.
If people want to hear us on Spotify, we're gonna try to reach out through everything we can, all the avenues we can, to reach as many people as we can. If you guys want to hear our content, then we're all about it. We want to give you our content if you guys are willing to hear it.
For sure. So that was me getting on my my little stand right there, just to throw a little social media plugins, because we definitely have them out there, and social media is such a great tool. Even though it's such a bad tool, it's also such a great tool to put yourself out there and have engagement. And ultimately, that's what we want to hear, is the feedback. I think people provide very valuable feedback.
Absolutely.
And ideas, truthfully.
No doubt.
So we have them all out there. Check us out for those who want to. But other than that, we might as well get right into it. This week in the NFL, and boy, do we have some stuff to talk about.
Yes,
we'll cover this right away, because I think it's just going to be short and sweet. And we don't know really much about it right now, but Jalen Carter, man, this man, It goes from being a potential number one pick in such a, to be blunt, a shitty situation. Rest in peace to the two people who lost their lives. In this, it's horrible. I mean, the kid, and I hate to say this, but isn't it crazy this happens on Combine Week?
It's giving a lot of Laramie Tunsil vibes.
Yeah.
Where it's last minute. It's something that comes out that hits you in the heart, because you're worried about the people that lost their lives to this. And there's this connection to, you want to know what truly happened. But I'll give respect to Jalen Carter. He went out there and he said, I'm going back. I'm going to cooperate with law enforcement, give them an idea of what happened. But you wish you could have a lens into what truly happened.
Yeah, and unfortunately, two people lost their lives that you're not going to ever hear. And
their side of the story. Absolutely.
And again, rest in peace to those, and for the young kid's sake, hopefully he really didn't do anything. I mean, it obviously, they were racing, but just hopefully he can, move on and not hinder his life. And he's got to get his act together. It's not the first time he's had a driving incident.
Mm-hmm.
This year, so he's got to really look at himself and improve himself. It gives me, and I'm too young to even live in that era, but when these young kids be driving reckless like that, I think of Jerome Brown, Eagles player, who died in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just you have all this in front of you don't want to give that up, and these kids get lost in that.
Don't play your high horse, ready? We did some reckless shit when we were kids.
We did, but not to the extent of this.
No. Absolutely not.
And as now that I'm older, I've learned I don't want that to be me. And I for his sake, I hope he learns that.
You can't look at him thinking he is us in his mind frame.
Yeah.
He is not as mature as us. He is a young kid. And, he may have made some mistakes. I hope he's not criminally liable for the actions he's made. But at the end of the day, you're, for the most part, consensus number one pick.
Yeah. You don't want to throw that away.
You have to deal with this. And respect to Jalen Carter, because he did say he's going back to Athens, and he's going to cooperate with law enforcement, and he's going to see what truly transpired and admit to it. I hope he does. If he has a larger part to play than we think now, okay, but
it's unfortunately going to be a topic that doesn't go away until the draft. Truly,
absolutely.
It's going to be here, and it's going to be on a lot of people's minds. It's going to be in every mock draft. People and let's be real, we're probably going to see him slide in every mock draft.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And just the initial thoughts today were him sliding to all the way to being no one's going to touch him. You know,
it's all about how much cooperation he does, and what teams truly see in him through interviews and talking to the kid, and see if he's truly the person that they think he is. Obviously, he's the player that we all know, and he's a monster. The kid can ball with the best of them. I truly believe that he can be maybe not an Aaron Donald level, but he can be really, really good at his position, and to see him, if he quite possibly through all this stuff slides out of the top 5, whatever team takes him, as long as he's, not liable for criminal charges and all that, they're gonna get a steal if they can get him outside the top 5.
If he is cleared of everything, and we get back to the football side, he slides to the Eagles, man. Could you imagine, man? Him on that line.
Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, Jalen Carter,
Milton Williams.
Oh God.
Josh Sweat, dude.
If any Eagles higher ups are listening to this podcast,
Howie Roseman, I'm looking at you, boy.
Which I highly doubt.
You beautiful man.
Please stay away from that man.
Please bring him in.
As a Giants fan, I can't stand to see that happen.
Nah, you guys got Thibodeau and Neal last year. You guys got your you got your chance at.
But Neal was healthily underwhelming with his
Take
pass
that out
production.
of the equation. Just think about going into draft night. You walk out with Thibodeau and Neal on.
What do we do to get that pick though? What do we do to get those two guys?
You did draft Kadarius Toney that directly resulted in.
We dropped the Jalen not Jalen the Justin Fields pick. We dropped the Justin Fields pick when we could have drafted. I want you to say it.
Micah Parsons.
Exactly. We dropped Micah Parsons to get those 2 picks. So don't act like we gave up nothing to get those 2 picks. We worked hard to get those 2 picks. And what did Kadarius Toney give us after we traded back? Nothing. He went to KC
and won a ring and gets to sit there and give you the big fat middle finger.
Yeah. Big fat middle finger. You know why he could give us the big fat middle finger? Because he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. That is egregious. What did he do for us? Oh, my hammy hurt. Yeah. Nah, that's just some bullshit. Kadarius Toney did not want to play for the New York Giants, and I'm sad that they drafted him. Truly. Did I believe that maybe if, he wanted to be there, he could have made a true difference, especially with, the stuff going on with Kenny Golladay. But he gave us basically zero production. He had that one big-ass game in his rookie year.
He didn't even give Kansas City production, let's be real.
At the end of the day, yeah.
He had one catch in that Super Bowl, and that was it. That was the touchdown. And, he had the punt return, which that's
the big punt. But it
was not like he did shit in the Super Bowl.
If you look at his Giants stats.
Oh, yeah.
He had the one big game against the Saints. That was it. Where he had 10 catches for 100 and something yards.
Didn't he have another game against the Cowboys when you guys were literally down to? Let's not get copyrighted here. Sorry about that, people. Sorry, we're looking this live right now. Didn't he have the one game last year when against the Cowboys when you guys were down to just one, literally him? Oh, jeez.
God damn. All these
guys. Dallas. He had 10 for 13, 189.
What did he do?
10 catches on 13 targets, 189 yards. You guys.
That was the game
he got ejected. Remember?
No, against the Saints, he had 9 for 178 and no touchdowns. So I'm thinking about the Dallas game. He did have a good game against the Saints.
The Dallas game, he did that and got thrown.
He balled. And he got thrown in another game in like the fourth quarter. Yeah, in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Because and I'm not trying to stereotype, but Broward County motherfuckers, bro, they be all about it. They just trying to fight. Like they cannot take. And truly, when they drafted Kadarius Toney, I was excited. And then I saw him do some media interviews, and like he's quick to, oh well, you said this about me, well you said that about me, and you did this and you did that. And like, nah, bro, let's simmer down. People are gonna talk their shit. You're popping. You're a rookie wide receiver that's actually doing something now. Why let the media cloud your judgment? And I think that's why the Giants got rid of him. He couldn't work with the media. He refused to stay humble.
I just want you to know, one of the common searches, Kadarius Toney games played.
Exactly. Exactly, because he doesn't play games. What did he do at the Giants? Oh, my hammy. He went to fucking KC. My hammy. Oh, it's the playoffs? Oh, I'm trying to play.
But, yeah, he showed up for the playoffs. But back to the overarching part, though, like, a team that gets Jalen Carter is going to get most likely a steal. Like, he's the dog. I mean, and for his sake, man, I just hope everything's going to be all right. And, this can cost him a lot of money. And, I mean,
absolutely.
Again, there's a reason why it's coming out now. That is a big deal now. And it's a shame. The whole situation's a shame, and thoughts to the families involved. But hopefully for his sake, everything's going to be okay, and come draft night, this is a non-topic anymore. Yeah. That was supposed to be quick, dude. We spent 12 minutes on that.
12 minutes on. Oh, what was supposed to be a
2 minute.
He may have fucked up. He may not have fucked up.
But it shows you just how serious something like that really is.
Oh, it's definitely something that people trying to draft him are going to be looking at.
Yeah, think of all the scouts that are going to be like there's all of a sudden that red flag is raised for everybody. Character concerns. That's an immediate red flag that everybody thinks about.
So we're gonna go to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, let's move on from that and get into some lighter topics about Aaron Rodgers. So he's apparently going to be deciding on his future
soon.
I don't think he's retiring. I think he's going to do it one more year, and if it doesn't work out next year, then he calls it quits, and that's going to fuck whoever he goes to.
Exactly. But I think
he don't care
wherever he goes. If he makes it to the divisional round, he's gonna stick.
Yeah, he's got to. I think if there's anything what Green Bay, like if they're 7-9 or 7-10, 6-11, whatnot, he's done. Yeah. I personally think, and I'm just some average guy from South Jersey, but I think that he shout out the 609. But I think he really will retire if tomorrow or next year the wheels fall off the wagon again. Why would he? He's got his money. He got paid. He's Aaron Rodgers. He don't have to ever worry about a thing in his life. Why continue to put the hurt on your body? It's a little different from like a Tom Brady situation, but I could see him. It don't work. I'm done. Like I'm good.
You hang up the cleats. But if a team takes a shot, say a Jets, say a Saints, and he goes there and he underperforms, what does that do to his legacy?
What is his legacy if you really think about it?
He had the one Super Bowl win.
He had the one bowl. And yeah, he's always been a hard... we sit here as Eagles fans saying, when we won the Super Bowl, we were...
Eagles fans?
Me and my grandfather.
Yeah. That's your shit. That's not my shit.
The year we won the Super Bowl, when the Packers didn't make it, we were like...
Yeah, what?
We were like, we don't have to play Aaron Rodgers. So, but... Like, he was that guy, but at the same time, he's only done it once. He's only won it once. And that carries weight. It absolutely does. You win. Look at Eli Manning. He won 2 Super Bowls, and he's up here in people's eyes.
2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Don't you fucking forget it. Aaron Rodgers, what does he do? He walks out there. He wins the Super Bowl. What does he do after that? Not a goddamn thing.
I mean, to be fair,
he did beat Dallas in that divisional round. The Dez didn't catch it. We can debate that for fucking 8 years. Yeah. Dez didn't catch it. But that's coming from a Giants fan perspective.
Oh, he called it. He called it. I think he called it.
You say he caught it?
Because just seeing people that argue things that have happened after, you look at that and you're like, yeah, that probably should have been a catch. You know,
probably.
I remember Zach Ertz in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. He went into the end zone, ball popped up, he corrals it, and all the talk during the review was Dez Bryant. And honestly, if you look at it, it's really like
the ball doesn't rotate. The ball doesn't move.
That's my thing.
And that's thinking about it from right now's catch rules, not thinking about what the catch rules were back then.
It was the same thing happened in the Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl, where they ruled Andy Reid took a challenge on a catch from us, and the ball doesn't.
Was that Devontae Smith?
Yeah, I think it was the Devontae Smith one. It didn't move.
Yeah.
Or it was. Sorry, my memory's clouded. I try to not think about the Super Bowl as much as possible. But my whole thought, like I was telling everyone I was around, like, what's going to determine it is that if that ball moves, then that's not a catch. But if it doesn't move like that...
As a Giants fan, that ball moved hella. Hella. Devonta Smith, if you were a Giant, I would love you forever. I still kind of love you, but you're an Eagle, and I can't respect it.
But... Yeah, the Dez, I mean, I'll always maintain that, but this is where we need to have the video on, because we could actually live.
Bro, but just watch him. Route work right there. Mink, he gets outside, he goes up on him. Yes. But that ball comes out, and you remember the Calvin Johnson catch.
But look, literally gets it. 1, 2, boom.
No, but you can't end it there. He's going to the ground.
But at that time of football.
1, 2, he's going to the ground. That ball slides. That ball slides
does it hit the ground?
Does it hit the ground now?
I don't think it does.
Were you inch perfect on that to see that ball hit the ground?
I don't think it hits the ground.
He puts his arm out.
I love how this turned into Dez Bryant talk.
That ball pops up. I'm a big fan of Dez Bryant.
But where's his hand? His hand might be there.
His hand is here. The ball had to have hit the ground.
His hand could have hit the ground and it could have popped up.
No, for it to come up that crazy.
But see, this is the debate about it. Like, I say it's a catch, and
Dez didn't catch it.
But
all you Cowboys fans out there. Dez did not catch it. Stop using that as your fucking excuse for why the fucking Cowboys didn't make it to the fucking divisional round. That was the divisional round. Why they didn't make it to the fucking NFC Championship. Yeah, suck my balls. You guys fucking suck. And just accept the fact that you guys are dog shit. You guys will be dog shit for the next 5 years, and that's fine.
Can I just say somebody who lived rent-free in my head for like 3 years?
Oh.
Scooter McGregor. You know who that is, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he would piss me off on Twitter to no end, like violent rage piss off. Like that's how I felt, like the fire burning inside. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man, back to the original thought here.
He's out of his blackout.
Where do you think he goes, though?
I don't.
Would you be shocked if he's a Packer come?
Oh, absolutely.
July.
Yes, absolutely. I would be shocked if he stays. I expect him to move. I see the Jets and the Saints.
Well, the Jets are like the most
Talked
obvious
about,
choice because they brought in his boy Nathaniel Hackett. So they bring him in as the offensive coordinator. They're doing that for a reason. What you watch the Broncos this year, is there anything in your right mind that says this guy I want as my offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
As a head coach who's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
What the Broncos did says while he was the coach there says I want him as my guy. No, they did that. They did that as a total cat throwing the bait out there and saying Aaron, we got your boy 100%. Back. Yeah, I would say I would be pretty stunned if he came back. If I'm the Packers, you wasted a first-round pick on Jordan Love. You got to see. And, I mean, he flashed a little bit in the Eagle game. I was there front and center. And
you got to see that.
He did flash a little bit. Truly, now, what's he going to be over 17 games? That's a different story. Yeah. Everybody can have one game where they look decent.
But it's very hard as a Jordan Love to flash when you have Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs.
Christian Watson kind of dogged out though in the second half.
In the second half of the season,
he's one that's what is he?
Can he sustain that
exactly?
Level of
can
success?
He sustain that? And I mean, at least they have good running backs, AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. Yeah. They have I think Robert Tonyan's a good tight end. Yeah. I don't think
he's a pass catcher though. I don't think he can block.
I don't think their line's that great.
I think their line's half decent.
Bakhtiari, he can't get on the damn field.
Yeah, well, if Bakhtiari is on the field, I think that's a solid.
When he's out,
I
look at that line and say
that's their leader. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, and they need him to succeed. If he can't stay healthy for 17 games, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, no matter who their quarterback is.
The Raiders are another team that I'm just thinking about. They need a quarterback.
I don't think they're there though.
Devontae Adams though. That's all that that's the big.
I don't think that holds as much weight as everyone thinks it does.
I mean, I get that.
Aaron Rodgers is looking to get another Super Bowl.
And is that Raiders team a real contender?
To hang his legacy on, and that Raiders team is not it.
Defense. As an Eagles fan, I hope he goes out to the AFC and I never had to deal with him again. But I mean, I can't see anyone in the NFC other than the Saints. I mean, I don't see Seattle. I don't see the Niners. No. I don't see the Panthers. I don't see the Falcons. I mean, I realistically see the Jets. That's the team that I don't see him going to. I think of him. And this might be a really either good comparison or a really bad comparison. I see him as when the Jets brought in Brett Favre for that 1 year. Yeah, that's the exact where if I were to see next year and how it finishes,
how I would come for a circle,
and that would be him. And on to another quarterback, which I had to pull up these numbers, and I don't even think I put this on here.
Are we talking about Derek?
No, Carson Wentz.
Ooh.
How do you think about the biggest fall off of a quarterback? And I'll read you some numbers
before
here.
That knee injury, I've watched a ton of highlights. As much as I dislike Carson Wentz,
he was fucking Houdini before the knee injury.
As much as I was sadly happy, I remember exactly where I was. I was at an Airbnb in Philly at a party.
Sitting in this room.
I bet you were. I was at an Airbnb in Philly, and he went in for that goal line, John, and he got hit right at the knees. And I was like, you know what? I hope he's fucking done. Why? That's the Giants fan bias. I thought he was going to lead you guys to a bowl. But guess what?
I stand by it. He would have.
He would have choked?
No, he would have let us. We were just... that. To be and I know this is my Eagles bias. That team was just flat out dominant.
Yeah,
the only game that was a game was that Ram game, Well, there were 2 games, but at that point,
who cares?
The following game, there's, first game with Nick Foles. It was against the Giants. I was there. I sat up at the fucking nosebleeds in MetLife. Worst seats ever. Like, they are tied with the Commanders Field, FedEx Field. Is it still FedEx Field, I think? That stadium's the worst stadium I think I've ever sat in, but the nosebleed seats are just as bad as that entire stadium.
Personally, I like FedEx Field for the way they have the club level. They have the Sean Taylor jersey. No, I didn't see the club. I went there for a soccer game.
I was just gonna say, like, just the seats are so uncomfortable, and the layout of the lower level bowl.
I wasn't sitting much when I was there, so I personally, I can't give you an intrigued point of view.
Yeah.
On what the seats were like, because I wasn't sitting much. I went there for a soccer game. It was Barca versus Chelsea. It was what it was. But I think FedEx Field's club level is solid. I think they have good stuff. The fact that your parking lot has one motherfucking exit is a fucking issue, dude.
Same thing with MetLife.
No.
MetLife literally has you have to all go into the one.
How long did we sit in MetLife's parking lot when we went the last time we went?
You were asleep.
You
were passed out. You were passed out there. Now we sat there for like probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Close to an hour.
When I went to FedEx Field, I sat there for 2 hours.
No, that's bad.
In the parking lot without moving out of the fucking parking spot. It was that bad because they had 4 lots with 1 exit.
Yeah, that's bad.
Come on, dude. I don't care where you're at, where you're located, none of that. Why do you have 1 exit for a bunch of parking lots? Like, I'll get that. The getting out of the stadium is astronomically difficult. But I like the stadium. I like the way it was laid out. Personally, I didn't sit in the seats much, but
after their stadium nearly killed my quarterback,
I get that.
Never again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carson Wentz, man, what do you think? Like, I'll give you his 2017 to 2019, but and this is just from the infograph I saw. It's calling it Carson's collapse, which is hilarious. So they're not including his rookie year. They're just more including Super Bowl year and the 2 years after. 40 games, 25-15, 64.4 completion percentage, 10,409 yards, 81 touchdowns to 21 interceptions, 98.3 quarterback ratio.
81 to 21 is fucking solid.
It's absolutely solid, but I mean, from an Eagles fan, the writing was on the wall. Like, it was on the wall, but he always flashed still after the knee injury in 2018, 2019, where, I mean, in 2019, when me and you went to the last game against the Giants where they clinched their playoff spot, I went to FedEx Field when they played the Redskins that year. That was Redskins at the time.
That was the Boston Scott game that really showed up. Let's be honest.
But so I went to those. Like, I went to the away games because they went on a run. They were dismal, dude. They couldn't score in the first half. It was brutal. We were pissed every game. But then he got hot again, and he looked like the Carson Wentz of old, where, like, you're like, this guy's got it. He's got that it factor. Yeah. And obviously, he didn't even get a chance to really play in the playoffs. I still think it was a dirty hit. There was no reason for it. There's arguments, and it
was a goal line hit.
I understand the arguments to it. Like, it's clear that Clowney wasn't targeting him in the head. And I get that. I still think it was a dirty hit and knocked him out, and that was pretty much the end of it. And here's his 2020 to 2022 stats: 37 games, 14, 21-1 record. The one tie was against the Bengals in the pandemic year. 60.6 completion percentage.
Okay.
7,938 yards.
All right.
54 to 31 in the touchdown to interceptions. And we're not even talking fumbles, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's had a lot of fumbles in his career. An 83.6 passer rating. I think that he's done. He's cooked as a starter. I mean, now I think a rebuilding team, he is a perfect fit for, or a team that drafts a quarterback and doesn't want to play him right away. Mm-hmm. I've been saying he had Texans written on him all year this year. Ooh, he's got the next Texans quarterback.
You think they take Bryce Young and then start Carson Wentz and let him, sit behind Carson Wentz?
15 years ago, yes. Today's NFL, no. If you're drafting high, you're starting. There is no stash and sit behind somebody.
So you think it an Anthony Richardson?
Depending on the team, like a Texans, I can see them totally they got to market somebody out there, and the Bryce Young, sure. Indianapolis, they're desperate. Their owner's desperate. Yeah. Their owner's a whole another topic we could talk about.
I think getting Matt Ryan for them and getting rid of Carson Wentz
that was dumb. That
was a lateral ass move. You're getting the same production, and you're spending to get that production.
And to be fair, Carson Wentz was pretty good that year. If you just look at his base numbers, he had fumbling issues, but. Yeah. And they did kind of shift to Jonathan Taylor in the second half of that season and all. But ultimately, the Jaguars played well in that game, and they stopped the 4th and 1s. They had a couple 4th and 1s, and that wasn't Carson Wentz. It was Jonathan Taylor runs. So their owner was nuts. And, I know that man has his own problems and his own demons that he fights, but man, he was nuts for the press run he did about the Carson Wentz being a mistake. I didn't think he was that bad out there. No. Yeah, they didn't play well at times, but so what? He still put up numbers, and it's not all on the quarterback at the end of the day. And to the Colts fans that listen to this, feel free to chime in. But I thought them getting rid of him for Matt Ryan out of all people. Okay, you did it for Jimmy G. Fine. I get it. I understand that. Matt Ryan, washed Matt Ryan. What did he show you in 2021 that said, he's my guy?
No, nothing.
I watched him look like dog shit against the Eagles in the first game of the season.
They had to
dog shit.
They had to look at him and go, he can compliment Jonathan Taylor.
But the problem was, and I'm pretty sure Frank Wright had direct orders to pass, because they did not use Jonathan Taylor like they used Jonathan Taylor the year before.
Can we not forget that even with Matt Ryan, they beat the Chiefs? At home. I'll give it was at home. But they beat the Chiefs in what was it, week 3, week 4?
Yeah.
They went out there and beat the fucking Chiefs. And then
in a year that I say is probably the most bizarre NFL season I've ever watched.
Has to be.
But yeah, I mean, a team like the Colts, I think getting rid of Carson Wentz hurt them more than it helped.
Oh, absolutely. You ship a guy out of town that could have gave you the same production as Matt Ryan did, or maybe even more.
Yeah.
For what? Yeah. For what? For you to come bring in Matt Ryan and him to literally show that the man is washed and he should retire today.
Yeah.
Has he not retired yet?
Nice.
Yeah. No. That's a fucking issue. Because what is he doing? He's throwing his name in knowing that there's a quarterback carousel. And there's a lot of teams looking for a QB. And what can he do? He can make some money and he can do his thing. But, are you truly giving any team solid production? You're not. I'm sorry. But unless, your team can run for 200 yards a game, Matt Ryan is not the answer to make you to the playoffs. He can't take you there.
No. And the fact that they went with him over Wentz is just... Hey? It just baffles me.
The Jets, right?
Yeah, that's the Jets. It baffles me, and the fact that the Commanders turned to Wentz, and he just flat out sucked.
Heineke was better.
Oh, I couldn't even believe that when Wentz came back from his injury
and got to play.
I was like,
that was
what?
Incredible. That was incredibly stupid. I
thought that would have got Ron Rivera that would have cost him his job. I was like stunned.
I think Heineke showed you way more flashes than Carson Wentz at this point could ever show you.
Now, do I think Heineke is a winning quarterback? No,
of course.
But
not.
In a year that was a bizarre year and the whole NFC East was pretty good, Heineke was a better option.
Why don't you turn around and grab me a beer while I tell the mic real quick? Taylor Heineke is a dog.
Beat the Eagles.
That man...
Him and Brian Robinson beat the Eagles.
Can do something, but he's lacking confidence. And do I bench Carson Wentz for him? No. Do I bench Carson Wentz for him? Yes. Do I bench Matt Ryan for him? Yes. Do I bench Derek Carr for him? Yes. And you'll hear that as the only person that will say that to you with a straight face and with full confidence. I think he's better than Derek Carr is right now. I think he turns the ball over less. I think
it's an interesting take. It's not necessarily, I think, wild. It's an interesting take.
Do I think Derek Carr can give you better stats? Yes, I do. But do I think Taylor Heineke can manage a game better than Derek Carr can? Yes, I do.
And we'll be talking about Derek Carr very shortly.
Oh,
but
yeah, I forgot. We didn't even get into the Derek Carr.
But
we're on Carson Wentz.
No, your point's absolutely valid. This is what I like about this. How this is raw. I think that's an appeal to what we do. We don't, and I think like as if we were to get bigger, we might do some editing to this, but the raw aspect. We keep it one take as our takes come right off.
We start the John and we go.
And that's one of the appeals that's literally in our description is that, we have the takes that you might not say out loud. Mm-hmm. We have the things that we...
But it's what we feel in the moment.
Yeah.
What we truly feel, regardless of what people think or regardless of what people want to believe.
And I understand editing and all that. I'm not knocking that at all. 100%. But I think that that's what I like about us sitting here is we're bouncing off of this, and we definitely, keep it real. We keep it 100, and
we have very strong opinions on what we have very strong opinions on. And we got to look at that and go, what do I think? And I truly think that Taylor Heineke in the same offense can win you more games than Derek Carr.
I think he can win you. I think he's good enough to be a 8-9 win quarterback. Mm-hmm. I don't see why not. I think if you plugged him out in Seattle, he probably would have done the same, roughly. Geno Smith had a great year, but why?
Hey. I'm not here for the Geno Smith slander. I'm here for the Geno Smith is the dog.
Oh, I feel so happy that he had a great year.
I'm so happy.
That man got punched in the damn face by his own teammate at one point.
And broke his jaw. And what does he do? He comes to Seattle and he gives them a solid fucking season.
And he even sat behind. He still had to wait to become a starter. Mm-hmm. He had to sit behind Russell Wilson still. And no, I'm extremely happy for him. But, yeah, Taylor Heineke, the fact that Carson Wentz got a chance after that, after Heineke bringing them back into the race, that was just the Carson Wentz.
I think it was stupid.
And this year costs Carson Wentz's career as a starting quarterback.
100%.
I mean,
he's a backup.
He's pretty much going to be a starter on any, rebuilder team. I can see him being a Raiders quarterback next year.
No.
Being their starter going into the year. But I can see that because if they don't get one of the top names, then what are they going to do? They're not going to draft one. They're not going to be around the draft one.
They're fucked. I think Devontae Adams won't play under a Carson Wentz. I think he's like, nah, this man is not it. I know you guys paid me a lot of money, but this man can't get me the ball. Like, I'm sorry. Obviously, if Davante Adams does play, Davante Adams is going to leave a Davante Adams footprint on the game.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's chomping at the bit to get a Carson Wentz. I think he wants either Derek Carr back, which is long gone. That's not happening. But you got to get a quarterback that can truly get him the ball. And I don't think any of the guys in free agency are that guy to get him the ball. Other than, and sadly I'll say it, Aaron Rodgers. The chemistry that they have, if you get an Aaron Rodgers on that team, Davante Adams is going to lick his lips, suck his fingertips, and be like, thank you. I'm about to hit almost 2,000 yards this season. Because I will hit loop routes all day for tutties, and I will hit go routes that Aaron Rodgers can place the ball there. Do I think Derek Carr played poorly this year? Absolutely. You have Darren Waller and Davante Adams, and you can't make shit happen. At the end of the game, you're looking back there like you're lost, and you're just trying to throw shit up in triple coverage.
His turnovers, his touchdown to turnover ratio, good.
He was so bad with late game trying to make something happen. Like, he would always hit the wrong receiver. He'd be like, oh, I'm throwing it to Darren Waller here. Dude. Oh, well, Davante Adams was on single coverage. And then, oh, you want to go with Davante Adams? Oh, Darren Waller was on single coverage.
Remember that game against the Cardinals that they choked and Kyler Murray beat him and on that one play that he ran around for 35 seconds?
Yeah.
And, got the game winner. But, I don't think he's a winning quarterback.
He's not. He's absolutely not. He goes to a Jets. He gets you 9-10 wins.
Yeah.
Maybe slide in the playoffs. Make some noise. Make it a good game. But you're not getting out of the wild card round. I'm sorry. I just don't think you're capable of doing it.
So you don't think Carson Wentz is the next Raiders starting quarterback?
No, absolutely not. You know who I think he's the next starting quarterback of?
The XFL? The Rough Riders or whatever from...
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can see it from now going on. And do I think he can make some noise with Mike Evans or Chris Godwin? Yeah, I do. Cade Otton, I'm a big fan of Cade Otton. I think Cade Otton's a dog. With those three guys, I think he can make some noise. He's got to sit there and watch film all fucking offseason. Hey, Derek Carr, if you're listening to this podcast, which I know you're not, but I'll give you a big lick of advice. Watch some fucking film and open your eyes. I don't know if you're high as shit and your eyes don't open like that. Whatever you have to do to open those eyes to see your receivers, look. It's not that hard.
So let me throw this out there, since we're into the Derek Carr part.
Yep.
So he had the report that came out was he had a good meeting with the Jets, and the odds right now are favoring the Jets as the favorite to sign him, followed by the Saints, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and then Washington.
Carolina before Tampa Bay?
So I figured since we're talking about him at Tampa Bay, talk about how do you feel about that list. I don't have the exact odds. I just jotted the teams down. But so we talked about the Jets a little bit.
The Jets, he'll lead them to a playoff run. But he won't get out of the wild card. He won't get out of the wild card.
The Jets have the weapons on offense. Elijah Moore, Breece Hall, they'll get back. Garrett Wilson. I think Tyler Conklin's there still, right? And he's a decent tight end in my eyes. Yeah, they got a decent offensive line, good defense.
Very good defense.
But they have if he was the Jets quarterback, just think of the teams that he's got to go through. He ain't getting out of the wild card, and if he does, he ain't getting out of the divisional round. He's not the Mark Sanchez magic.
No.
The Sanchez magic from back in the day for the championship games. But, I mean, like, they would have to beat teams like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Miami in their own division. God, even New England.
I think if the Chiefs sat Pat Mahomes.
The Chargers.
And put Derek Carr out there, they wouldn't make the playoffs. I'm sorry, you have a good run game, you have a good offensive line, you have a decent defense. But I don't think those weapons...
I think they make the playoffs. I just don't think they...
No, I just don't think they
win the Super Bowl.
With Mecole Hardman right now, as your wide receiver one, do you think Derek Carr can get the ball to Mecole Hardman? Do you think he can get it to KT?
Kelce, though.
Travis Kelce's not going to get 3,000 yards. I'm sorry. But he's not going to lead you to... Yeah, he's not going to lead you to the playoffs. Derek Carr is just not that guy.
Yeah, but if you think about it, though, and I'm not defending him here, I'm just saying...
No, you're defending.
Travis Kelce, a track size.
A dog. A motherfucking
Mecole Hardman's, we're acting like he's trash. No, he's a good wide receiver. He's just not... He's not your ideal number one.
He's not a one? No, he's not ideal number one. He's not a number one.
He's a number two.
He's a number two. He's a mid-tier number two at best. I don't think he's a high-end number two. I don't think
if he was next to A.J. Brown, I'd be happy. I'd be happy. I wouldn't be upset.
But you're talking about if he's next to a top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah, that's true.
We're looking at it as he's a number 1 or he's a good number 2 if he's next to a top 5 receiver. Yeah, no, of course he was. That's why he was okay when Tyreek Hill was there.
I love hearing you talk positively about the Eagles.
I can't deny A.J. Brown being a fucking dog.
I love it. It's just it's music to my ears, and the fact that you admit Jalen Hurts is actually a good quarterback earlier.
Yeah, that was off camera. I can't do that on a mic.
But yeah,
Jalen
so
Hurts is all right.
What about New Orleans? How do you feel about Derek Carr in New Orleans?
I think he can lead you to a wild card spot, but he's not doing anything. I truly, just about any team he goes to, unless you have terrible weapons, I don't think he's leading you much past a wild card. I think if he goes to a team like Tampa, like New Orleans, like the Jets, he can lead you to a playoff spot. But is he going to do much more than the wild card round? Maybe the divisional round. With the Saints, I could see a divisional round berth. For the Jets, for me, it's all about how Breece Hall comes back. If Breece Hall comes back fully healthy and is the same dog that he was last year, he can lead the Jets to a divisional round. He can lead New Orleans to a divisional round.
Even without Alvin Kamara, potentially?
The Alvin Kamara thing's up in the air. Alvin Kamara did what he did and is going to have to answer for that. Do I think Alvin Kamara plays next year? Yes, I do.
Yeah, there were straight up rumors that the Saints wanted the Eagles to give them their pick back, and they would give us Alvin Kamara.
If you guys got Alvin Kamara and Alvin Kamara,
this is when their pick was top 5 at the time. It was a funny rumor going around. I was like, so we had to give you it, and you'll give us one of those we're so lucky.
If Alvin Kamara goes to the Eagles, I hope he spends the rest of his life in prison. I truly do. And I'm sorry to Alvin Kamara if you hear this. I truly apologize. I don't want you to spend the rest of your life in prison. But you cannot be a Philadelphia Eagle. I just can't do it. I as a Giants fan, I can't condone that behavior. You guys got Devonta Smith, and I will be mad about that for the next 10 years, and that's fine. Cool, I can be mad about it.
Honest to God, I'm reading a hot take comment about Alvin Kamara, and I kind of believe with it. I'm jumping off shift before it's too late. about to be 28, serious legal troubles. Was the guy with no quarterback. You got to be the guy there with no quarterback last year. Wasn't the guy. And I was on a team with no quarterback. Like, nah, I'm good.
Imagine they trade him to Buffalo.
Oh, I mean, he'll be great.
Oh, and then he gets acquitted of all this shit. And Buffalo's a Super Bowl team. Buffalo will be in the Super Bowl. If they get Alvin Kamara, Buffalo will be in the Super Bowl with whoever comes out of the NFC. It don't matter. They're going to give whatever team gives them a race for that
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think what this past playoff showed you is the AFC is going to run through Kansas City,
or
Buffalo, or Cincinnati. Yeah, the NFC is wide open. I was saying it that like this past year was the year for the Eagles to win because the NFC was fucking wide open and everybody in the AFC was a bloodbath there.
Yeah, it was a bloodbath.
And I can correlate it to hockey right now. The Eastern Conference is everyone's making moves there. The Western Conference, whoever gets out, who goes to the finals, they're good. They're good. Because everyone's going to beat the shit out of each other in the Eastern. Right. And that's exactly what it was in this past year. And it's going to be this way next year. Especially if guys like Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, and I know we just talked about them. But, like, the less talent, the bigger names and talent you get out of here and the lesser talent that comes in, like, it's going to be wide open. Like, the Eagles really would realistically have a shot. Every team, the Giants, the Cowboys, you name it. Like, the Niners, the Lions, every team's going to have a shot in the NFC. The AFC is a different story.
I said that last year, too. I said, when the playoffs started, I said, whoever makes that out of the AFC is winning the bowl. Like, I don't care. Was I scared of the Eagles? Yeah. That's as a Giants fan. If I see the Eagles win another Super Bowl, I made a full-fledged bet to you that as a diehard Giants fan, as a hater of the Eagles, I would put on a Devonta Smith jersey and go to Philly with you
that jersey
and
with
live
me.
it the fuck up.
I had that jersey with me. I had all the plans, man. But no, I seriously, it's gonna be like that for the next couple years.
Yeah.
Until the NFC powerhouses really start showing up, because like the Rams are cooked. The Rams are
done.
just done.
They're done.
The Packers, if they move on from Aaron Rodgers, they're done. And
it's no doubt.
You tell me the Bears are the next up and coming team? No. They don't have a wide receiver. David Montgomery's good, not great. Their line sucks. Their defense all right. Man,
I like Mooney.
He was a failure in fantasy this year for me, so fuck him and fuck Cole Kmet. But Derek Carr, Carolina. What about that? That seems like a total like Baker Mayfield 2.0, Sam Darnold 3.0. Like it just will not work.
Him in Carolina is a 4-13 team. What do they have? They have DJ Moore.
If they kept Christian McCaffrey,
Devonta Foreman.
Well, they have an okay defense. Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin.
I like Brian Burns a lot.
You know,
I really do. But
Stephon Gilmore.
Don't feed me the Stephon Gilmore shit. Don't feed me that. He's washed, and he showed you that in Indianapolis. The man's trash. Like, what is he? He's a number 2 corner at best. He's a Dory Jackson 2.0. What is it? Well, let me not disrespect Adoree. I think if Adoree had help, Adoree would have been better, but Darnay Holmes was number 2.
Yeah, my mistake. Totally botched Stephon Gilmore. Totally forgot he was on the Colts. That's on me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn. Yeah, J.C. Horn's a dog. I'll give you that. J.C. Horn's a dog. You good? You good on that? Stephon Gilmore,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to approach that subject because we're not even talking about that subject. Stephon Gilmore, you're fucking garbage.
Now, what about? You touched on Tampa Bay a little bit, so we'll go past Tampa Bay for Derek Carr.
I think Tampa Bay for Derek Carr would be a solid spot. I think that's his best spot. His best chance to succeed.
Coming in at 5th is the Commanders. Scary Terry.
Yes.
John Dotson.
Yes.
Brian Robinson.
Yes.
Curtis Samuel.
Yes.
You know, like...
Do I think he makes
their defense? Healthy Chase Young?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's questionable. A healthy Chase Young.
Well, I mean,
we haven't seen that motherfucker healthy since before the ACL.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off the ACL. Like
he tore his ACL not this past year, the year before.
I know,
and he was not healthy all year. As much as I wanted Chase Young,
year before.
As much as I wanted Chase Young as a Giant, after that ACL, I just don't think he's the player that he could have been.
Isn't it funny, man? ACL injuries, you either come back better or you come back worse. There's no in between.
No. You don't come back as the same player. No. You come back better or you come back way worse.
They either put that robotic ACL in you or they put that elbow ACL in you.
They're like, oh, you want the Adrian Peterson? We got you with the Adrian Peterson. But, like, outside of that, you go fuck yourself.
You checked off the 15 boxes to get the Adrian Peterson ACL?
We got you. That Adrian Peterson ACL, that shit is robotic. That shit is vibranium from fucking Wakanda, my boy. That shit is next level strong.
No, seriously, he
Shout out AP.
Shout out AP, man. Shout out Miller Lite. I hope you hear this, and I hope you send me some beer one day. Shout out Bud Light, specifically Bud Light Limes. Yes, that is God's gift to humanity. After all the shit we don't deserve, he blessed us with Bud Light Lime.
He said, hey, all this shit going down, why don't you have some Bud Light Lime? And I said, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Shout out to the boys at Corona.
Yes, sir.
One beer, and they usually always got me fucked up.
Yes, sir.
But
how far are we in right now?
We're an hour in, dude. Ooh. And we've covered...
half the topics we said.
Not even. We've covered probably a third of them.
All right. Well, I see the next one is called Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, let's talk about him for a second.
Kenny Golladay, before you even speak, I DM'd you on Twitter, my boy. Right after you signed with the Giants, I remember exactly where I was at. My baby mom was out the crib. I was living with my son. Me and him were hanging out, doing our thing, and I got the ESPN notification that Kenny Golladay signs with the Giants, and I was so goddamn excited. I was like, oh, this is gonna be it. I DM'd on Twitter. I'm like, yo, thank you for signing with the Giants. I've always been a fan of you. Like, you're gonna be that guy. 2 years later, I fucking hate you, Kenny Golladay. Why couldn't you put in even a half ounce of work? Like, you did not care about the franchise at all. You got paid and you fucking walked out there and went, I'm just who I am. Fuck you. Like, truly, fuck you. Like, fuck you. If you want to hit me up, DM us on Twitter and we can meet up. Like, I'll fight you, bro. You're going to beat my ass probably, but I'll fight you just on principle. Like, how dare you steal that money from the Giants? How fucking dare you?
Thank you.
Yeah, from an Eagles fan perspective. But what did you do last year?
Can I just throw this out there? Mm-hmm. And it's being thrown out there by everybody, and it is music to my ears. You guys paid Kenny Golladay $36 million for 43 catches. That's fucking $850,000 a fucking catch. And when I was saying it was a $16 million touchdown, that fucking was a $16 million touchdown.
Oh, I'm going to go off last season. You know what you averaged per game For yards?
32.
For yards. 32. 4.7.
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant first year Kenny Golladay.
Bro, you averaged less than half of a reception last year. You averaged a target per game. Kenny Golladay, hit up the podcast on YouTube, Twitch, fucking almost Spotify.
Do you imagine
like
if
whatever
Kenny
you want to hit
as a guest?
Oh, be a guest on here. Because I'm going to sit here and tell you what the fuck I think as a Giants fan. You're dog shit. I hope you never play a down in the NFL again. And I will fuck you up and I'll fuck your wife up. Fuck that bitch,
God
too.
Damn.
I'm done.
I hate to say this. I'm sure you're not the only Giants fan that feels this
way.
way.
No, I'm not. I know from Giants Twitter, I'm fucking not. And that's what I'm saying. Meet me up. I told Jalen Hurts when we were at the game, what did I tell him? I said, J3 in the parking lot, my boy. That's where I'm at. Pull up, I'll fuck you up. Will Jalen Hurts have beaten the dog shit out of me? Yeah, he would have.
The moral of the story is Ando Fried is glad to get his ass beat.
Oh, yeah, no. Please beat the dog shit out of me. Like, I don't even give a fuck. But Kenny Golladay did not deserve any of that money when I thought he deserved it. And I'll be honest, Gettleman gave him the deal he gave him, and I was happy with it. I was content with it.
At the time, because that was a decent deal.
That was Lions Golladay, and Lions Golladay showed you a lot, and he showed you more to be desired. He said, "I'm that guy," and cool. It is what it is. But you came out there and you gave what you gave, and that is worth fucking hands for me. If I get one good shot on you, I would be fucking cheesing because I want to fuck you up with these hands.
Yeah, it's funny to look back on because he obviously flopped right out, and that's probably going to be his career there.
Oh, but that's his career, yeah, 100%.
It's music as an Eagles fan, but I definitely understand the frustrations. As a Giants fan, we paid Derek Barnett $5 million this year, and I was pissed when we even brought him back after all this shit.
You paid him $5 million. How much do we pay for fucking 6 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown? Did you score a touchdown on Darius Slay? Yes, I will forever appreciate that moment. I fucking loved it.
It was a game that the Eagles always had in the bag, though.
It was a game that we played our third string because you guys barely beat us.
Watch the highlights. We weren't even trying. We were kicking field goals instead of going for it. If we went for it, it would have probably been 40-something points on the board.
Yeah. Hey, Davis Webb got a lot of work in that game.
Yeah, Davis Webb, he was a bitch to tackle that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Davis Webb was giving you make work.
Like, good for him though. Good for him. Shout out Davis Webb. I had
Broncos quarterback coach. I hope you turn Russell Wilson around because I know I fucking couldn't.
Nah, for real. Like he had a good game. It was kind of funny to watch. The fact that he went from a guy who was literally going to give the game up to go to coaching, and then go to coaching, and then the Giants wouldn't even let the Dolphins pick him up when the Dolphins were like, we need a guy. But yeah, shout out to him. Kenny Golladay, you are a bust in New York for sure. We'll glance over this.
Get out of New York. I hope you don't show your face in Jersey.
Because you're going to beat Ando Fried's ass.
Yeah, because you're going to beat my ass. I'm going to
sit there
and have to look at this little ass white boy laying on the ground and be like, why'd I really have to do that? But
I'm gonna give you a nice handshake and say that was well deserved. Good for you. Thank you for your time in New York.
I appreciate my boy riding for me.
But we'll talk over this. Leonard Fournette got cut today.
Yeah. Do you truly think the Eagles are a solid landing spot for him? If you guys get rid of Miles Sanders, with Gainwell on your roster, Boston Scott on your roster.
On the right type of contract, sure. 1 year. Not break the bank. No more than 5. LeGarrette Blount type of contract. Bring him in 1 year. Bruiser back, Catch a little bit out of the backfield, but a guy who can get you that 1 yard you need.
See, that's the thing about Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette can do everything, but not in a large sum of shit. Like, he can do everything in a very small little niche spot.
I think it was apparent this year for Leonard Fournette when he kind of got the keys. Not bringing back Ronald Jones and stuff, and kind of giving him he showed he had a lot of he has a lot of miles on his legs.
Oh yeah,
lot. So
LSU put half those miles on
and they put 3/4 of them miles. Let's be real. But
he was good. He was good in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he is exactly why you don't want a running back as early. And I've talked about this where I think the talk about drafting a running back in the first round is a little overrated because
coming from the man that wants Bijan Robinson in the first round.
Well, no, I'm saying drafting a running back in the first round to me is okay. You get 5 years and then you move on. That's fine with me. But he got his 5 years worth, and he's that classic example. Now he's looking towards he's cooked, and for a year as to get you a couple yards here and there. Again, LeGarrette Blount type. Yeah, he might start out as your number 1, but you go get a guy later on at the deadline or whatnot, like we did with Jay Ajayi. If it was a cheap deal 1 year, absolutely, why not? He wouldn't be any worse. We go by running back by committee anyway. Yeah. So why would it even matter?
And personally, even
next
as a
year,
Giants fan,
your window is next year and probably the following year, and that's about it before all the contracts 100%. Really start handicapping you. So why not do that? Why not bring a guy in who can catch the ball out of the backfield, can get you a yard or two when you need it on 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1?
Bro, I'm just seeing this right now. Leonard Fournette has 73 receptions this year.
Yeah,
that's
Tampa
fucking
Bay used
good,
him out of the backfield a lot.
3 touchdowns, 500 something yards.
But he's gonna want number 1 money and
third most receptions of any running back.
And that right there, he's gonna get money. And to me, at the right price, if when free agency opens up on the 15th. And they say the Eagles have signed Leonard Fournette 1 year, hell, even $8 million. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm fine with that. But at any more than that, any term, any more than 7 is my absolute max. I'm out. You can go get that guy. You can get a lesser version. So. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes because, he's a notable name.
I will say, PFF graded him 5th among running backs with at least 100 snaps this season.
He was good this year. He wasn't, terrible.
I will say from Tampa Bay spot, you got Rachaad White.
Yeah, and
Rachaad White showed you a lot.
And life after Tom Brady, why would he want to be there? He wanted out. He asked for the release, So
they're saying Sanders' market value is 7.2 a year. Across 2 years.
It's so hard to judge running back value because
would you pay Miles Sanders 7.2 for 2 years?
On paper,
14.4
without regarding position and all that. That seems like a total steal to me.
Personally, I would pay Miles Sanders
that
market value. He's looking for more than market value.
Yeah, he's probably trying to get 12, 13 million.
He knows he can do more than the Eagles let him do, and I'm not saying that's a hate on the Eagles.
No, it's true.
I like Kenneth Gainwell.
We do a running back.
Boston Scott will forever be the motherfucking death of me. Boston Scott, if you listen to this, come to the Giants, my boy. Stop killing the Giants and kill the Eagles, my boy.
No, I would pay him that. That to me, anything under 9 I think is worth.
Fair?
Is worth. It's spent 2 years, $7.2 million. If you did that, you got a running back for 2 years now. Now you really don't have to worry. And when the Jalen Hurts contract extension really is kicked in, you don't got to worry about. And then you go draft a back then.
I'm so excited for Jalen Hurts to get $55+ million a year.
There's part of me that thinks that he's gonna not get 50. He's gonna get less than that.
If he gets less than 50, I will show up at his house and personally be like, why did you take less than what you're worth for that? Because we don't have it on the agenda. We're not going to talk about it.
That much?
We're not going to talk about it. But Daniel Jones will come in at 45. And that is astronomical. Daniel Jones, if you hear this podcast, you're worth 30 max. Like, don't try to get an extra
Daniel
15
Jones,
a year.
If you hear this podcast, you are worth 10. And that's being generous.
And Daniel Jones is...
This is the same Daniel Jones that had an 80-yard touchdown run and tripped over his own feet.
Yeah, I know. Daniel Jones, personally, as a Giants fan, is worth no more than $35 a year.
If Jalen Hurts got under the 40, under 50, I would say that's a win.
That's a win. Yeah.
Like I was looking through Twitter and stuff today, and people were saying like, where, like for a Hurts contract, what would you feel good at? And somebody threw out, if he made anything under 47, I would be personally taking him. I would personally take him out and be his personal chauffeur and do everything for him and assume the rest of the money.
I got
because to me, I think he's a team guy, and yeah, he wants his bag. I'm sure he wants his money.
Well, he's a team guy because he was drafted where he was drafted.
But he comes from a good college system, like 2 good college systems.
For quarterbacks. Don't play.
Not quarterbacks.
Every
but
quarterback
just
that comes out
how
of
to coach a young man.
Yeah.
Nick Saban coaching a young man.
It teaches leadership, 100%, and I'll give you that. I hope the Eagles give him $65 million a year. I know it won't happen, but I hope you guys give him $95 million a year. I don't give a goddamn
if he's
shit.
making 95, Saquon's making $6.5 billion.
Saquon can go suck a fat dick because I love Saquon. I have a Saquon jersey. My son has a Saquon Barkley jersey.
You don't care about your son, bro.
Don't say that.
You don't care.
I love my son. You don't care.
No, I'm saying Saquon don't care about your son.
Saquon.
Not you. Saquon don't care.
No, I love my fucking son. But Saquon, my son is a mixed little kid, and he loves watching the Giants. He watches the Giants with Daddy.
I'm pretty sure his first words are going to be, I love Jalen Hurts.
Apparently, with his mom's family, he said, go Eagles one time. I refuse to believe it.
What happened?
He wore a Giants hat.
I was there.
He wears a Giants jersey.
She invited me over to
she didn't.
Just because she wanted this to get back to you.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. I refuse to believe that. Saquon, I truly love you. Come down to 12.5, bro. 16.
Saquon, get your bag, bro.
Fucking
You're running back. Get
wild,
your bag,
my boy.
Why not?
I love you.
18?
I want Saquon to be a Giant for life. But he doesn't. As much as he say he does, he doesn't.
Could you imagine number 26 breaking out a 75-yard touchdown for the Eagles next year? Saquon Barkley.
And I said this to Rhett off podcast. If Saquon Barkley signs for the Philadelphia Eagles, I will sit outside his crib with a megaphone. And I will play nothing but car alarms and bullshit. All fucking day, I'll quit my job. I truly will quit my fucking job.
Don't you love hardcore fandom?
I refuse to let that man sign for the Giants. Go sign for the Bills. Go win a bowl. If you got to.
What about the Eagles? Win a bowl with the Eagles.
No. No, if you win a bowl with the Eagles, I will personally go to Philly wearing a Devonta Smith jersey, find a way to get the Lombardi trophy, and take a fucking shit on it.
I thought you were gonna say climb a pole and burn Saquon's jersey on top of it.
Oh, I
the
will,
highest pole in Philly.
No, not even climb the highest pole in Philly. I will climb the bus itself and look Saquon Barkley in the fucking eyes and burn my Saquon Barkley jersey and burn my son's Saquon Barkley jersey. I would hate that man more than I hate the fucking Eagles itself if he fucking signed for the Eagles. Saquon Barkley, if you hear this, I love you. Truly, I love you as a Giants fan, man. You're asking for too much money, and if you sign for the Eagles, that will be an unforgivable diss.
Come home.
On me, my son, on all of Giants fandom. I could not believe you would do some bullshit like that. I don't give a fuck if they offer you $48 million a year. Do not.
It's like we said, like I've told you many times, Saquon goes, the Giants go.
I think the Giants can make the playoffs without Saquon Barkley.
I think
Gary Brightwell. I like him a lot.
I don't think Daniel Jones will have a safety blanket anymore. And then it's gonna make Daniel Jones have to be a quarterback, and I don't think he will.
As a Giants fan, I think Daniel Bellinger will be his new safety blanket.
But he's not good. To me, he's not good enough to take. You could take him out of a game.
They asked Travis Kelce, "What young tight ends do you feel optimistic about in the NFL?" And he said, "Jake Ferguson from Dallas." He said, I forget the exact name. He said somebody else. And he said Daniel Bellinger from the New York Giants. Daniel Bellinger, what did he do? He took a hand in the face and he fucking...
he messed up his eye.
He broke his orbital bone.
Yeah.
The eye bone, John. And what did he do? He came back and he still gave production. I think that kid could be a dog.
I think if you guys don't address receiver... Which I think you have to.
Of course we have.
But if you weren't, and that was the guy, you take him out of the equation, and then what? You know.
I think if they draft a guy, even if you draft a guy or you get like a Brandon Ayuk, I think Brandon Ayuk, Isaiah Hodgins, Wan'Dale Robinson,
if he comes back healthy.
Wan'Dale? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big question. But you also have Slayton. You still have Slayton for another year.
If I was him,
you got to work about it.
I think that man is disrespecting himself. Why the fuck would you stay there?
Because the fucking catch against the Commanders.
But like
when he had a touchdown in his hands to beat the Commanders and he fucking dropped it, I think he deserves to sign a 14-year... $100 million contract.
If you're paying him
or
that
not
much
100.
money, yeah.
No, $14 million, $1 million contract.
No, like but truly, like outside of Eagles Giants bias, like if he, why would you stay? He just keeps getting pushed aside.
But what did he show you this year? He dropped the ball more than ever.
But he was also. Put up some decent numbers.
Yeah, but
could be a decent number 3 on any team.
You cost us 2 games, my boy.
Yeah, a year where you guys weren't expected to do anything.
What's the difference between 9-7-1 and 11-7, 11 5-1? Yeah. Oh, a big fucking difference.
A divisional round exit.
Yeah, exactly.
After the Eagles.
Don't fucking laugh at that. We would have beat the dog shit out of the Eagles if we had another week of rest. Daniel Jones would have walked in there and threw him for 400 yards.
So you're telling me you guys needed more time to prepare because you're that unprepared.
No. We needed rest. Not more time to prepare. We don't give a fuck about the Eagles. We needed time to rest.
Maybe should have went 15-1.
We gave everything to the Minnesota Vikings, and we beat them. And then we walked to Philly, and I told you before the Philly game, we're going to walk in there and get walked over. Because I knew Philly was who Philly was. But give it 2 years. Will Philly be what Philly was? No. Will the Giants be better than what they were? Yeah. And I think we could beat you guys in a divisional or even a wild card matchup.
I guess we'll revisit this in 2 years. Podcast episode number 10.
No, 110s.
110 something.
Yeah, 112.
Something like that.
Check back in on episode 112 and watch me laugh in this man's face as the New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs. And we're going to the fucking bowl. And we're winning that bowl. And what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be with my 12-year-old kid. And I'm going to be like, hey, buddy, here's a fucking beer. Let's get this money.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I'm not going to do that for my kid. If he's anything less than legal drinking age, aka 17, he's not going to be drinking. But
shout out Miller Lite, Bud Light.
Shout out Miller Lite, Bud Light. Bud Light, if you want to send me some shit, Bud Light Limes, send me 18 fucking 24 packs, and I will pound those shits and sit here and tell you how much I love Bud Light Lime. I fucking love that shit.
So, we got just a couple more topics. Well, I'll briefly touch on this one. Eagles.
What's the time we at?
Dude, we're killing it right now. We're an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, okay.
So, I'll just touch on this briefly because it's Eagles related. Eagles rounded out their coaching staff this past week. They hired Brian Johnson, who was our quarterback's coach. The consensus amongst the fans are it's a great hire. It's going to give Jalen Hurts continuity on the offense, another year. Mm-hmm. And he's coached Jalen Hurts, family friend. Like, we talked about him being with Dak and with Kyle Trask. And it's going to be seamless. Sorry, we're having some malfunctions here. And then we hired Sean Desai. He was defensive coordinator for Seahawks, Bears. We'll see. I mean, people are kind of in favor of it. We'll see what he can get out of the talent. As long as he can stop a good quarterback or hold a good quarterback under 30 points, where I don't give a shit what happens.
It's okay to say you're skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, on the defensive side, let's be real, it's a scoring league. There's skepticism there, and after having Jonathan Gannon, who could just never hold a good quarterback,
Jonathan Gannon didn't give a fuck what was happening in the game. He said, "This is my pregame plan,"
and he stuck to it. He wouldn't adjust.
And he said, "That's all I'm giving you."
I hold on to this fact: the talent is what made the defense look good, not the coaching.
100%.
So
that defense was incredibly talented. Incredibly. Hassan Reddick. Mm-hmm. I truly...
4 guys at 10 sacks.
Hassan Reddick, if you hear this shit, come to the Giants.
He's a Philly guy. He got no shot. Temple, Philly.
Hassan Reddick, I'll look you dead in the eyes across the table. I'll buy you lunch. I'll look you dead in the eyes across the table.
You're buying him McDonald's.
I'm buying him whatever the fuck you want. I'll look you dead in the eyes and say, fuck the Eagles.
And he'll probably walk right out and be like, nah.
Yeah, he might.
But
he's a big Philly guy.
Eagles did round out their coaching staff, so we'll see what they do. We'll see what type of players they bring in once free agency starts, which we'll keep it on the free agency, the main free agency talks
until
free agency time. The last big topic we have are fallouts from the XFL. We have
Paxton Lynch, the first motherfucker to be fucking benched in every single football league to ever exist. The man is dog shit. And what did John Elway do? Drafted him in the first round.
Yeah, he did. Eagles fans wanted him before we moved up for Carson Wentz.
I get he was a 6'5" quarterback.
Yeah, the tools were the athleticism.
But he's out of Memphis.
Yeah.
And he didn't show anything with his arm that you could be like, oh, that's an NFL level.
That's my concerns for Will Levis. I know he looks good throwing the ball.
Will Levis is dog shit.
But
we both agree on that.
But no, the big things are the 4th and 15 chance instead of an onside kick. That's a big thing that people can see the NFL adopting, because the onside kick has that 1 in 1,000 chance of working.
Yeah.
And the 4th and 15 for a team that's down, 7-8 points with a minute left, give them a chance.
It's 100% a better chance.
And to me, on the
surface, you got the hands team out there. An onside kick's probably not working.
Yeah. And to me, I mean, it'll make the game more exciting.
It's gonna make the game more exciting, but I also think it's gonna make offense that much more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than defense. Like, if you can, instead of an onside kick, go for a 4th and 15, which, let's all be honest, not fucking easy to get a 4th and 15.
It's not.
You could drop, 10-yard coverage on zone coverage and just.
I think you'll see a lot of teams do that where they drop.
They're just gonna play blanket, cover 3 coverage.
But you can miss a tackle.
If you miss a tackle, that's the first.
You can hit a guy who hits the seam and beats the zone.
Beats the outside.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna create an issue with sideline hits though.
Yeah,
because a dude gets 12, 13 yards, he's gonna get lit up on the sideline. Maybe he stepped out. Now the referees want to go, oh, well, no, he stepped out before you hit him. And
if you were the commissioner, what would you do? Would you if you can implement this, would you?
Yeah, I would. Personally,
hesitation or no? Like 100%?
I would give a small hesitation, but I would probably implement it very quickly.
Would you implement it with a stipulation, like has to be under a minute left?
I would say under 2 minutes.
A certain score?
I would say inside 2 minutes.
What if you're down 14? You can do it?
Inside 2 minutes.
Okay.
Like, do whatever you want. If it's inside 2 minutes, I get it. Because an onside kick is a fucking long shot. With a hands team out there, with the best receiver out there, with fucking solid receivers out there just trying to hands the ball and get to the ground. Inside 2 minutes, you're down 14. Give it a shot.
What about another rule to implement, having an emergency third quarterback? And this is gained some traction directly because of the 49ers.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they don't allow 3 quarterbacks to be dressed. I think it's the dumbest thing to limit it to 2.
I think it's super stupid.
Because it is stupid. It's just flat out stupid. You really can lose 2 quarterbacks.
You look at the 49ers game.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy went down the first time he dropped back.
And then Josh Johnson went down.
You go Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson gives you solid minutes, but then goes down.
And then you got Brock Purdy who can't even throw the ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Like you have to go back to the guy who is already fucked up, knows he's fucked up. The training staff knows he's fucked up. Why do you got to roll him back out there and force him to play games? No, let them dress a third quarterback.
It's something that I think with no hesitation should be just something implemented, and
100%.
I think there's going to be a real push for it.
That should be, as soon as it comes up, Roger Goodell goes, "Fuck yeah!" That, like, why are we limiting? Dress fucking 5 quarterbacks if you want. Mm-hmm. It's your 53-man roster. If you want to put 5 quarterbacks in that 53, put 5 quarterbacks. In all
seriousness, like you should be. So
that's the thing. Is like, would the Niners have dressed 3 quarterbacks? Probably not. They would have been confident in Brock and maybe Josh Johnson. And they probably wouldn't even have dressed.
They might have. They might have dressed Garoppolo and do or die. Because I know there was talks about
he was healthy enough to
being
play
dressed if they won.
Yeah.
And so
I get it, but like at the end of the day, like if you want to dress,
it's
3, 4, 5.
It's a scenario you might see once a year. and that's out of every team once a year.
Bro, it's gonna be playoffs.
But exactly, it's gonna be in a game like a NFC, AFC championship.
That's an important game. You could dress however many quarterbacks you want. You have a 53-man roster that gets to dress on that day.
Honestly, I would even be okay if it was just for the playoffs. Maybe keep 100%. It the same in the regular season, but playoffs.
100%. I get it.
Now, what do you think about reviewable roughing the passer?
I'm all fucking for it.
Before you go into your point, I'm just going to make my point real quick. I think I'm for it because there's a lot of bad calls, but it's going to create more questions than answers, just like the reviewable pass interference.
Yeah.
And that's the hesitation with that.
I think reviewable roughing the passer is going to extend the game. It's going to make the game longer.
It will.
100%, just about every single NFL game is going to be
especially
longer.
when teams are down and they're driving and something happens. It's going to do that. It's something that you probably should be reviewable, but it's just going to cause so much extra that
it has to be reviewable in a certain sense. Like you can't let them get a 15-yard reception and a questionable pass interference. Add another 15 to that. You can't.
There's gotta be something where you just can't challenge on any old hit.
It has to be.
It has to be like lower body,
like a lower body,
headshot,
or a headshot, or like driving in the ground.
Yeah.
Like
or like
the 3 steps and still
it can't be the guy who's just tackling you, brings you down, he tackles you at the waist.
Oh, he hit his head a little bit too hard. We're gonna throw a flag. Like no, it has to be something egregious. It can't be a soft call if you're gonna review it and still say it.
I agree.
It'll
be interesting to see what happens. I know the Eagles also submitted a change to allow players to wear the number 0, which I think is kind of a cool change. I don't even know why we can't wear 0.
Damian Lillard shit.
Yeah, like I think you should be allowed to wear 0. It's stupid that you can't. It's dumb. Like I would totally go out there. You know how much people would buy a number 0 jersey? Like
just for the fucking fact that it was legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see any rule changes coming up. That's all I pretty much had for that. We covered pretty much everything this week in the NFL for the most part.
Round of applause for us.
Round of applause. We're thinking about implementing some other segments to diversify the podcast. We're thinking about maybe, implementing a weekly State of the Union. We've done it already. Like just talk about the Eagles and the Giants, but maybe make it a staple where we dedicate a little bit of time with this.
Reach out on YouTube in the comments if you guys want us to talk about our teams a little bit more.
Tweet at us.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like just let us know. If you tweet at us and you tweet and say, hey, I want a Giants State of the Union update, I will go on Twitter and give you a full Giants State of the Union update. If you ask for the Eagles, I guarantee you Ray will do the same thing.
Yeah, and also, we do have it set up on Apple Podcasts. Obviously, this is how everyone's currently probably listening to it. But, drop us a rating and give us a comment there, like what you like, what you don't like. We're thinking about, again, adding that State of the Union section. As the draft season and free agency kicks up, we're going to talk a little bit more about, dedicate more time into that. So those will be some segments. Maybe we'll, long term we'll add some, stupid little games. I've been thinking about some stuff on that front, giving quizzing Andy and telling him like, hey, guess this player by his stats, and let him get 10 questions or like a 21 questions.
I would love to do some quiz games, but the viewers have to want it and appreciate it. If I'm gonna do it, if you guys don't want to hear it, I understand.
We want to do whatever is best for the viewers. That's for sure. That's the people supporting us, you know?
We're all about the people.
That's for real. The people that support us, I don't... That's what I'm doing this for, you know?
Yes, sir.
Anything else you got to close on?
No, I'm good. Saquon Barkley, if you want $16 million, get the fuck out of here.
Miller Lite, if you want to give me a free shirt, please do.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Hurts, please do us a favor. That's all.
Come fight me.
That's all I'm saying. Just do us a favor. Don't listen to this guy. Just do us a favor.
Come fight me. Because will you beat the dog shit out of me? Yeah.
Yo, this man's like can squat like 600 pounds. Like, he will turn you upside down and probably make you cease to exist.
He might kill me. Yeah. No, he might kill me. But it's cool.
It's my quarterback.
It's cool.
It's my quarterback.
If I see you in person, I'm gonna give you a hug and be like, "I love you." I love you. I'm sorry.
But this has been episode 3, y'all. Again, follow us on YouTube or subscribe on YouTube, The Dead End Boys. Follow us on Twitter, The Dead End Boys, and follow us on Twitch.
What is Z on Twitter and
Z on Twitter, S
on YouTube.
YouTube, that's the @ name. You could probably search The Dead End Boys with a Z, Reddy and Ando. Either way, if you do it by the @ name, it's an S. If you just search, it's The Dead End Boys with a Z. Twitch, it's The Dead End Boys with a Z. Again, throw us some ratings, like the video when it goes up on YouTube, give us comments, feedback, anything possible.
Absolutely. If you want to see us play some PlayStation together, and we can play Rocket League, we can play Madden, we can play FIFA, we can play whatever. If you guys want to see us play some games and just bounce off each other and have our fun, let us have our fun, and we'll bless you guys with some good content.
For sure. Well, Ando.
Yep. It was a good podcast, bro. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it very much. And, reach out to the social medias.
Can't agree more, man. Thank you guys again. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.